And then I'll be like in my bed watching porn, coming by myself like, shit, like I should set up a camera.
That's
I'm
what
like,
I think sometimes.
I want, this one's for me. Okay. And then I literally, when I come, I think about it. I pull my energy up. It goes out my forehead. It goes back into my solar plexus, and I recharge myself with my own comes.
Dude, I love this chick, man. This is the most fun I've had on the podcast.
So I told Kimmy, I said, hey, you got to come on the show. I promise you it's going to be a good time.
I'm glad you came. Yeah, this is awesome.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good, the bad, and the shocking stories of sugar dating. And yes, I'm struggling a little bit. I lost my voice earlier this week. It's almost back. When my co-host, Kimmy, finally rolls in the door, we're going to have her take over a little bit. But for now, you got me. I think she just drove up. So, whoops, she's in a mess, she says. Anyway, she'll be here in a second. I just want to let my listeners know how much we appreciate you. We just passed 100,000 downloads today. So thank you so much. We started this journey about a year and a half ago. And I think our first week we had 24 downloads. And now we're getting, over 10,000 downloads a month. And we look forward to bringing you all kinds of sugar dating content and other things. And today, one of those other things is I'm going to bring you somebody that actually my co-host Amy has made an acquaintance with. And I'm pretty intrigued by her story, so we're going to just jump right into it. Welcome, Charli.
Hi, yeah, I'm Charli Phoenix.
Yes. So you live here in the Valley?
I do.
Were you born and raised here? Or
No.
Give me a little history.
Okay.
I don't know that much about you, actually.
All right, so I was born and raised in Wheeling, West Virginia. So I grew up on a dairy farm, really small town. And then from 12 to 24, I was in Indiana, so Indianapolis, and it was great. I just grew up in really smaller towns.
Okay.
Really country people, chill, Bible Belt area.
Oh yeah,
So
I grew up in the South, in Texas, in the heart of the Bible Belt. I think in the buckle of the Bible Belt.
Yeah, so you get it. Yeah. And then when my husband passed away in 2014, I was like, I'm done with the Midwest. Packed up and moved out here to Arizona.
Wow, how long were you married?
We were together from 16, and then he died at 26.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So, but before that, we had a great sex life. So we were just perfect on the outside, did what we were supposed to for our parents, and then would have girlfriends. And so our sex life was tip top.
Okay, wait. So you guys had an open relationship?
Yeah, oh yeah. We just had fun our whole marriage.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I'm kind of I'll get into the reason why I'm very interested in this. You dated previously. Mm-hmm. How long did you date before you got married?
I'm trying to think. 16, and we got married at 22.
Okay, so a good 6 years before you actually got married. How did this open relationship thing come about? Was it always? I liked
girls. So for me, it started, and it was okay, fine. We can bring a girl in. Because, my sex life, wasn't complete. My thing is group sex. So that's
really?
The more energy and then I also we did Tantra. So it's connecting the breath and moving energy up the body before you come. It's like a drug trip. It's so hard. It is intense sex. And so that's what happened. And then when he passed away, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Dating wasn't working. I was with women. I only dated women for 5 years after he died. And they're difficult to live with. So I was like, this isn't working. I have my own emotions. She wants me to deal with her emotions. So that didn't work. And then I was like, what am I going to do? COVID happened, and someone said, hey, start an OnlyFans. And
so you have an OnlyFans?
I do. Yeah. Okay. I have an OnlyFans. And so that's where I started. And 2 weeks after that, a porn agent found me. And he's like, yo, do you want to go mainstream? And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And so it literally took off so quick. It was amazing. I thought I was just going to sell my own content. And then my first scene was a Brazzers scene.
Oh, you did Brazzers?
Oh, yeah. That's so my main companies that I shot with last year was Brazzers, Naughty America, Team Skeet, MILF, Wank, VR. Yeah. So they're pretty big name companies. I've loved it.
Wow. Okay. So I do want to get into all this, but I do want to go back to this open relationship thing, because in the sugar world, we actually form relationships with the sugar babies. These are not prostitutes.
No.
You know, they don't come over for a sexual act and leave. I mean, these people we do things with, we live life with, we travel with.
Absolutely.
And we form bonds with.
You care for them. You love them. They hold a spot in your heart. Yeah.
But what we find out is that most sugar babies are juggling multiple men. And likewise, most sugar daddies
have
aren't
multiple
just
babies.
Yeah. And so how do you form a bond with somebody, and then, you know, a very special bond?
Unconditional love. You don't own them. Like if you should want every person that you meet to feel as happy as you feel. So I think it's idea of more of like control. So it's like you want that sugar baby, like you're just mine. Not saying you in particular, just, you know, okay. And so then, but the girl's like, so am I supposed to just sit here while you're like with your wife and family? Am I not, you know? So it's kind of like, it's all about respect. If you respect that person, and of course there's going to be jealousy. It was hard for me at the beginning because I was 22. 20-year-olds are crazy. All right. So it was very hard for him to be like, oh, so you can be with this girl, but I can't. And I was like, oh shit. So, I mean, it's open communication. Everything has to be talked about, even the uncomfortable stuff.
So that's how you made it work.
That's
with
how
your
I made
husband?
it work. And there were a lot of times, like, I picked up like a broom and hit him with it. So there's a lot of times that it caused major jealousy issues. So, but then on the other side, it was magical, like sex magic, and like just sparks flying and happiness.
Now,
So-
did you have threesomes with your husband?
Yeah, but I mean, I also he never asked to be with a girl on his own. I think it would have been a turn on for me, you know, and he died so young, so we never like got to like really make it to that next level, but he would have been down for anything.
Okay, I'm so lost.
All right,
Okay,
so
yeah.
Wait,
welcome,
your husband
Kimmy.
died?
He did, yeah. My husband died in 2014.
How old was he?
We were both 26.
What happened to him?
It was a fentanyl overdose.
Oh, man.
Yeah, super quick. Like he went to rehab. He was sober. So he was sober for 6 months, and then his grandfather died, and I had to take him back to our hometown. And that night he overdosed.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So just to get Kimmy caught up, because you and Kimmy actually have traveled down a similar path lately. In 2020, during COVID, she started an OnlyFans, and then an agency found her and asked her if she would do some porn scenes, and then
it just took off. From there.
That's awesome.
So Kimmy has a lot of experience with OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I am not the best at OnlyFans. Like, yeah, I can do content all day. Okay, let's real like side note. When I started porn, my resume said fuck's really good. It didn't say like can read lines or can do. So it's like in my mind, porn was just fucking. Not at all. Porn is acting. Right, guys? Okay,
You gotta be an actress,
right? But I mean, okay. Like I feel like some things that we have to say, like I can't even say it. I don't know. I guess it feels like more like comedy porn. That's just not what I thought I was. I went from like a closed group setting of just like openness and no phones and do whatever you want, and to the complete other side where it's all paperwork, everything's filmed, and you're like reading silly lines. So it was an adjustment.
You know, I thought when you said your husband died, it was because of old age, because one of my friends, she's been dating like 70, 80-year-olds. And I swear every other day, she's like, I'm
One of
scared
them
one of them's
died.
going to croak.
For
I'm
real,
like-
she's like, I love him. I don't want him to go.
That's what she
For
says.
real. No, I get it. You know, I have abandonment issues. Like my dad and mom are still married. They're still there. They're great. But for some reason, like with my husband leaving like he did, like I'm like, no, don't leave. That's why some of the porn girls, you know, it's more, you're just on the set, you do content and leave. No, I want a sugar daddy. I want to be able to text you. I want that like connection.
So that's the reason, and you're fairly new in the sugar
Literally,
baby
I am
world.
6 to 8 weeks in the sugar baby world.
Okay.
And I love this world way more. I guess I shouldn't compare it. They're different. They're not even comparable. The sugar baby world and then porn scenes, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a completely different animal. yeah.
Absolutely. And like, I love being on camera. I'm more of an exhibitionist. I like being watched. So that's why porn works amazingly in my life. But on the other side, it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You give a high five and you leave. And then I'm sad when I leave. So, you know, after a set, like for the next 4 to 8 hours, my emotions just, it's hormonal. You know what I mean? So it's like you have all of these things flooding and then you're alone. So that's why I feel the sugar baby world, I feel complete. Like I feel respected. I feel loved. And so I feel safe here.
I love it. Wow. Yeah, sometimes, I went celibate for a while and then I got back into it.
Girls, so did I twice. Once for 7 months and once for 11 months. Like, didn't even touch my own.
Yeah.
Wait, how?
It was a part of like learning how to like control your chi, control your energy. And so when you're that horny, there are ways to breathe and pull that energy up your spine and then use it to create instead of just pushing it out into the world empty. I never have an empty cum. So when I come, it's either never.
I'm sure Marcus doesn't have an empty cum.
Neither do
Right?
I.
Well, I'm also a gushing squirter, so I do have the pleasure of like coming
I love some
like a
squirting.
man. Yeah, like in
you
mine.
always squirt.
So the squirting is like touchy right now because I've been squirted on. And I'm like, that's not what just happened. So mine is a trigger. So it's kind of like.
So you know how to turn off the faucet?
No. So if it's turned on and my body's too turned on, it will continue until I'm literally completely dehydrated. So here's how I'll explain. This is how I'll explain.
You just see the look on Kimmy's face right now.
No, I will. I'll try to teach you in the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so listen how this works.
Oh
so
God, I'm so excited for
This is an open door.
okay. So here's how how I try to explain it to people. So when you get like something in your eye. And you're like, rub it. And then your eye is like, your body's like flushing fluid there. Like, oh, we got to help it. Something's wrong. So my G-spot is only like 1.25 inches and it's really easy to hit. And if you hit that over and over, your body's like injury. And it like sends more fluid. It's not just like urine. It's not, yes, it comes out the same place, but it's different. Like literally my body builds up fluid to protect a spot that it thinks is being injured. And then once I'm able to release, it's an body orgasm.
So
Nice.
Kimmy has just discovered squirting.
And then the only guy who was ever able to make me squirt got fucking snatched up by the FBI.
Oh, dude, that sucks. So listen, I totally know what you're talking about because when you try to explain to a guy how to make you squirt, they don't understand that it's a loose hand. So you can't stiffen your fingers and stiffen your hand because then you're hitting bone and it's painful. It's like literally it's a finger flick and then you pull your wrist.
As she's demonstrating for me right now.
I literally am.
Yeah.
So yeah, finger flick, loose wrist, and then pull your arm back. And you can like hear it. Like, like you're like, oh, this is what she's about to
It's
squirt.
like mac and cheese.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, here it goes. Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
So I literally have taught 2 girls to squirt. So I think you have to trust your body.
Yeah, well, I've read that not every girl can squirt, but then I've also read that every girl
can. So what happens is it's like reflux. So the ones, the girls you're having sex with, they're like, oh my God, stop, I had to pee. Like, okay, so that's that feeling. That's that pressure. That's the first sign of like your G-spot's like it's full. It's full. You're about ready to go.
It's interesting because that happened with my ex all the time. He always wanted to make me squirt, but it never worked. And he would always be like, even if you have to pee, just go through it.
It's different though, because when you push to, if I'm turned on, I can't piss.
Yeah.
Like I sit there, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like trying to like calm down so I can pee. It's different. It is so different. So when they think telling you just to pee on them, like, dude, I can't even pee if you're looking at me.
Exactly. But
Don't look at me. I can't pee if you look at me.
it's so weird. When I started squirting, I didn't feel like I had to pee.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you have to get past that point of pressure of like, oh God, something's wrong. And then it's bliss. It's the same as anything. You have to go through the wall.
How would you explain that orgasm versus a clitoral orgasm?
So a clit orgasm, like it's a buildup, right? Like, oh my God, it's almost there. And then all at once, like there's no controlling it. It's like it just comes out and like you can't breathe for a second. A squirting orgasm is more like my entire body is like contracting. Is that a good way to explain it? Okay. I think that's how it would be explained.
I told Kimmy when she announced that, hey, I've squirted, that this is OnlyFans gold. Have you?
Actually, it's not because you can't post any of it on your wall. So listen, I lost my Twitter because of all this stuff. Like, I don't know if they think that like it's peeing or if it's like a sexist thing, but I get cum on my face on Twitter all the time. And then I came in someone else's face and they suspended me for violence. And I was like, dude, violence? Like I've never even hit anybody in my life. And so I asked them, and I'm not, they like you can't pee on people. I'm like, bitch, I was coming. So I don't have a Twitter anymore. Instagram also hates me. So like, I don't know. I like make money, but I'm like a secret. You got to go to Pornhub. I'm all over there.
Yeah.
High five.
Well, we'll definitely put some links into this.
Yeah. Like
I'm
one
not-
of them hit 10 million. I was like,
No
oh,
way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was on page 1. I was like scrolling for myself. I was like, I'm on there. Look at me.
Yeah, I haven't made it on any porn websites yet, at least with my permission. But
Oh, right. like with me signing paperwork and saying, yes, you can have it there.
yeah, but
I think our audience, obviously, most men partake in that, but I'm a little oblivious on how that works. So, kind of give me a rundown of. Do they pay you per scene? Is there any residuals? Here's money and buy.
They pay us per scene. Like I'll probably get in trouble for stuff I'm saying, whatever. So we get a flat rate.
Nobody listens to this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're safe here. Say whatever. Okay. And then a director calls me, bitch, I heard you. Okay. So they pay us per scene. That's how it goes. But guys, I'm on set for sometimes, like if it's an ad scene, we're on set for 15 hours. So it's like
ad scene. What's that?
So like when you're scrolling through Pornhub and you go down to the bottom and there are those little scenes that are like quickly going through.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
those scenes take forever. The ad scene I did, my first Brazzers ones, I had to jump in a window. Okay, we had to do that like 90 times, and then I had to be flipped over a couch onto a mat with my pants down and my ass out. Like I'm like this is.
That's funny.
So
I'm like I signed up for love. What is this?
What?
So when you said Brazzers, it reminded me of a funny thing. Kimmy wore a Brazzers shirt on an airplane.
I was literally okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was
dude,
a
you
browser
can't
tab.
do that. I get harassed at the airport.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
All these old whiteys in the front of the plane were just looking at me like, what the fuck is
Trying
wrong
to
with
hold
this
their
chick?
phone up and take pictures. Like, dude, tell me first. Like, I was like, I probably had my mouth open. I don't even know what I was doing.
Well, I don't even know what to say. But you know what? You might actually know this. I once dated a porn star, and you might know who he is. You probably definitely do.
Tell me.
Well, I can't on air.
Sure.
Oh, am I? I
Why
mean, you can
not?
say their porn names.
I don't think I should. I think.
I
he
mean,
would
I
probably
bet I'll be
upset.
like, hey, he
He
was
has
a
a
good
porn
time,
name.
and then we'll high five because I probably did a scene with it.
You definitely did. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but like he's done a scene with everyone.
Well, I met a porn star on Seeking, and she ended up signing with Kimmy's agency for a short time, and she had done a
Dude.
scene with him.
You want to take me? You want to adopt me?
Hey, if I get back on it for sure, maybe.
Dude,
but
that's me. Like literally, I take month sabbaticals just from OnlyFans. Like, and then I'll be like in my bed watching porn, coming by myself. Like, shit. Like I should set up a camera.
that's
I'm
what
like,
I think sometimes.
I want this one's for me. Okay. And then I literally, when I come, I think about it. I pull all my energy up. It goes out my forehead. It goes back into my solar plexus, and I recharge myself with my own comes.
Dude, I love this chick, man.
So,
Where did this is the most fun I've had on the podcast.
so I
Okay.
told Kimmy, I said, hey, you got to come on the show. I promise you it's going to be a good time.
I'm glad you came. Yeah, this is awesome. When I found out, I was like, yeah, I want to do a podcast. You can't promote me on Instagram or Twitter, but hey.
Well, in the podcast world, though, I can put links and
I'm just kidding. No, I
whatever.
heard that links are what's getting us in trouble on Twitter.
on Twitter.
That if you like do too many tweets and they have links taking you off of Twitter, they're just going to be like, no.
Well, these social media apps, they don't like when users leave the app. So like Instagram does the same thing. It's really annoying.
Oh man, Instagram. I'm on my like 17th Instagram.
No way.
Yeah, and like I'm like kind of like a brat. Like, fine, you don't want me, I'm not coming. And so everyone's like, you have to have an Instagram. No, I am not gonna take my time to like post and to do all that stuff for them to take it. Like they took it at 60,000. They took
Now,
it at
have
40,000.
you explored TikTok?
So I'm a widow of 3, right? And so my kids love TikTok.
Oh.
And so I'm just like, because I'm still growing. I mean, literally, I have people asking me to do scenes. I have companies contacting me. Like I grow without having to be on there. So I'm like, I don't see the necessity right now. And like people are like, oh, but you're not like blowing up famous. But I make good money and I still get to like, I only have to work on like a porn set like maybe 6 days a month. The rest of the time, I'm a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? And then my sugar daddy, he travels between states, so he can only see me like once or twice a month. So literally, like by time he comes back, I'm like needing to see him. You know, it's just so much time in between. So,
Well, Kimmy has found a lot of success on there, and she's on about her 47th account.
okay, so and you just keep trying. See, I like him. Like, fine, you don't want me, I'm not coming.
Yes, I have to keep trying because I'm not on porn. So
Okay,
I can't,
okay,
I can't
yeah.
like promote myself otherwise. I mean, I've always thought about it, but at this point I might as well. But I don't know that it's my passion and what I want to do in my life.
See, that's what's hard for me because my passion was making love, like it was sex magic.
Yeah,
you know?
that's definitely not mine.
It's hard.
Although I'm really getting into sucking dick recently, like not on
Girl,
cam.
I'm so good at it. Stupid.
But like my friend, she like taught me this helicopter method. You know, you just go shh with your head like a helicopter.
Sounds intense and like a neck injury, but I can show you some easier ways.
So we're in a group text
Yeah.
chat, and this kind of came to. I was unaware of this helicopter
I'm
method.
excited. You're gonna have to show me when we're done.
Yeah, I'm really curious, and
I think I already do it. I know what you're talking about, but you have to just keep a good suction. You need big lips, and yeah, you just pull up.
guys, they are demonstrating right now, and this is not on video, but it should be.
Like, go to Pornhub.
Oh, God.
That's like my thing. Like,
Well, anyways, once I learned how to suck dick, which
Yeah.
was very recently. Thank you, Marcus.
Oh, I gave you
Amy.
I gave you Amy's method.
Amy's method.
Hey, so I taught my sugar baby,
Yeah.
my main sugar baby. I taught her Amy's method.
Night
So
and day,
good.
right?
It is night and day. It
Okay.
is so good.
So with the balls thing, okay, when you pull down the balls, is that like the whole time? Or is
no,
that
listen.
Like,
So you pull down the
I'm-
balls.
I'm
okay,
all
I'm gonna
ears right
tell you
now.
what it is. So we're literally, actually, when you're pulling down their balls, it's not even about their fucking balls. Like that has nothing to do with it. There's the vein that goes in between and like down. So you get at the bottom. So if you pull their balls down, you get underneath and you push that vein, and it will push their dick harder. And then the blood just keeps going to like where it needs to.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then they don't have a choice. And then what's really strange is if you like don't like release it, they'll start coming and nothing will come out and you'll be like, oh my God, what the fuck? And you take your thumb off and then it just fucking explodes.
whoa, what?
You're
You know
literally
the,
like,
She
yeah.
knows the anatomy of this shit. Okay, so
I mean, all self-taught though. So it's like, it's not like science is
Well,
going to be like, no.
Amy's method is she just takes the loose skin underneath there and
It
pulls
pins-
down
oh,
and kind of and it separates the scrotum from the dick.
But
and
really what it's doing is it's putting pressure on that vein. And it's
okay,
moving
is that
it.
what it is?
Yeah.
I
like-
just know it feels amazing.
Yes, I know. It even feels cool in our hands though. Like to be able to, like when you feel that's like where the hard on starts. You know what I mean? It's just like raging down there. Yeah.
yeah, I have some follow-up questions for after the podcast.
Well, if you need a model to no,
I dead for real. I was like, can I show her?
Oh God.
So I have to send this episode directly to my sugar baby immediately after we record
Yeah.
this.
She's gonna love it. She'll be like, these guys are
She's
fucking
gonna be
great.
calling me up going, what the fuck's going on up there?
Right? Like, you better keep your clothes on.
Oh God.
I can do it through the boxers. I just am trying to show.
Oh God. It just gets better and better. So, how do you like your sugar daddy right now?
Oh, I love him. He's amazing. Like, is teaching me. Like, my parents were amazing. They're still married. Like I said, their great grandparents, they were just like, I don't know, they were like partiers. So it's like, it was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like I didn't learn like taxes and finance and like things you should learn, even though I'm 34. And so he like just is willing to teach me like, hey, there's this book, or like he doesn't, how do I want to say this? It's not ownership. It's like he respects me and he's like, I want you to thrive. You know what I mean? And so I'm not just supported. I get that like emotional love connection that I need. I have someone that's checking in on me every day that actually cares and isn't just like, hey, show me your tits, you know? And I feel like this is exactly what I needed in my life because of porn and because I'm a widow of 3 kids that demand all my attention. I needed someone who could accept just a few days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I know your sugar daddy. Matter of fact,
Oh no, he is amazing.
Lily has met him. Of course, Amy has,
I have an
met him
idea
years
of who
ago.
he could be.
Well, it was Amy's main sugar daddy for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
No, amazing.
Yeah.
Like just, and like I said, like I'm a feeler. I don't know. Like I can, like even when I text, it's more just emojis. Like I will react to what you're saying, but I'm more of like a nonverbal communicator. Like I'll watch your body language and I'll watch how you react to things I say. And oh, did they take that well? Did they not take that well? So I think because I'm so aware that like when you're with me, you get my full attention. So that's why I think
that's
it makes it
awesome.
more meaningful. Yeah.
No, I just by talking to you in this short period of time, I could tell you're a great sugar baby. I mean, if I was an old dude, I would totally wife you. I would totally
Right.
sugar you up.
And just to give you an idea of what Charli looks like, Marilyn Monroe with, oh my, she just pulled out her breasts. All right. Jake, my sound producer, did you see that?
Those are great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but thank you. But Kimmy's dying over there. But she looks a lot like Marilyn Monroe. You've been.
I get that a lot.
You've been,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's hot.
But I guess you could look her up.
Oh yeah,
Charli Phoenix with Charli with an I.
Yeah, I have my own website. It'll take you to accounts that are no longer active because they suspend me, and then it'll take you to my OnlyFans. So it's just charliphoenix.com, and it's Charli with just an I.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can watch me on Pornhub for free. So
Yeah.
Don't do it for free. Pay my girl.
right? No, you watch it, and then you can tip me for my effort.
Yeah, but see, like, and that's why I wanted to ask you kind of how that industry works. Is you get paid once, but then they watch it for.
It's devastating actually because before I don't know how we don't like. It's confusing. So like on Pornhub, I don't understand how a video can have 2 million views and how it has nothing to do with the people in it. So, but also I don't know that, the business side of things. So I have some people telling me like, no, any video over 13 minutes, you contact them and you should get money for it. But then I have directors say, go ahead and do that. They'll never book you again. I have 45-minute I have full videos up on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Full videos and I just can't say anything. I just take it on the chin, just like.
Yeah. Okay. So how come it took you so long to start exploring the sugar daddy world?
Because in my mind, I thought that was just like being an escort. I didn't think that. I guess I didn't really know the terminology. You know what I mean? Like even when I got into porn, I had no idea what porn was. I watched amateur porn for myself before I got into the porn world, and so when I figured out everything that went into it, I just don't enjoy watching it anymore.
When did you sign up? You signed up on Seeking, right? Or any other sites?
I did Seeking because I was looking for people in Phoenix or like the area that would do content. So my issue is I will only do a scene with someone that has a full STD panel, and I don't have any content to sell right now. If you don't have someone that's willing to sign the model release, sign a 2257, and give you the rights to the film, the content does me no good.
Yeah.
So like OnlyFans models will do content with you, never send you their paperwork. You don't own the film. You can't do anything with it. And now like OnlyFans and these companies are cracking down. So how they were getting away with it is they would just not tag you and send it in like the DMs or whatever. Well, now OnlyFans is like, no, you tag any person, any video, you have to tag them. And so it's just.
Even if it's a photo, like a bikini photo of two girls, so you need to have the other person tagged. It's the craziest thing.
Have you run
I don't
into
know
that,
why
Kimmy?
people
Oh
wouldn't.
yeah, I had an issue. Oh my God. I had an issue because this guy, I had a ton of scenes with this guy and I was posting them on my OF. And then, there was a whole thing. We were dating. He embezzled me out of like $12,000. And then he went MIA, changed his phone number, went on the run. And then OnlyFans is contacting me like, hey, you don't have the rights to these videos. You need to tag this
That's
person.
literally
and
what-
I'm like, well, you know what? This person just stole $12,000 from me and is on the run. So I don't know how the hell I'm going to get to him. Yeah, so that was a problem.
It is. And so like I found out that I don't own, so I've been in the industry almost 2 years in June, but everything I did the first 6-7 months, I don't own any of those. I can't even repost them. Some of the people, it's just annoying. So I wanted to have more control over the content that I put out, and I wanted someone to be excited to do it with me. You know what I mean? I wanted it to show real. I don't want it to show a flaky model that got completely trashed the night before, comes in and doesn't want to fuck me anyway. I want the passion, you know what I mean? And so that was I haven't been on Seeking since I met my sugar daddy. I'm loyal to a fault.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, why wouldn't you? He's traveled. He's not in the state. He travels.
I like to take things in little bites, right? So I can't take on more than I could handle. So I have all these different hats. I have the mom hat, I have the porn hat, and I wanted something for, just me. Once I found him, I feel complete. And I know that I can make more money, and I know he would tell me. I'm sure he would be like, dude, go get another sugar daddy.
Yeah, he's into open relationships.
100%, and told me that from the beginning. And you know that he has other sugar babies as well, and I'm fine with that. I don't have the want to right now.
Huh.
I don't want to search. Does that make sense? I have such little time and little energy
I
to
get
spare.
it's an exhausting process.
Yeah, so if someone would find me from the podcast, if someone would find me and is looking for, long term, I will not do it. If you're going to see me one time, deuces, I don't need you. I want someone that is going to stick around with me and grow with me.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like some of the issues that I've ran into in the sugar daddy world is that they do want so many. So it's like they're looking to like, oh, I've been with all of these people. And I just don't think that should be important. I think if it's about a good connection and sex, then if you find someone, why would you need others? I don't know. That's where I kind of struggle. Not saying others as in one or two other people, talking about just a different one all the time.
Right.
Yeah, that's not my vibe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's different. I've gone through some interesting things with Alejandra, which is my main sugar baby. And we have spent the last couple weekends just talking about, I mean, she's young, and so she wants to still explore what's out there. And I love her to death. And I'm like thinking, and I spend so much time with her. We always have a great time. But I've got to let her go do her exploring.
As soon as you squeeze on, you're damaging everything you built.
It's like trying to put a collar on a cat and guide it down the street.
Trying to squeeze sand.
Yeah.
You can't.
They're going to do what they want to do anyway.
Absolutely. Well, and if you're good to each other, you respect each other, and there's open communication, what's the problem?
Well, and see, that's what's made it palatable is that I tell her, and when she asks me, I'll tell her every single detail that she wants to know. And then when I ask her, she tells me every single detail. So she's like, hey, I'm going to go see this oral surgeon tomorrow night. I'm like, great.
Good. Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy. Have fun. Let me know how it goes.
The issue when it will be bad is if you're sitting at home alone, knowing that she's out, just in a not a bad mental space, but more of like boredom or even like, oh, I'm just annoyed that she's out with someone else, and then text her.
Yeah.
That's where it just takes that one decision to literally mess up everything that you've built. So it's like you have to control yourself first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you said, okay, this is open,
it takes
then
a lot of self-control.
It does, because it's literally those times when you're just like, just in a bad mood. Literally. It's like you just throw that bad mood energy at them and you don't even mean it that way. So that it does. You have to be very mature to handle an open relationship.
What I like about is our communication got very real, very honest, very open. So now I'm not having to, maybe I don't like it.
You don't have to like it. You just don't have to let those emotions ruin it for her.
But here's what's the great thing is now I'm not making stories up in my head about what's going on because she's telling me everything that's going on. So it fills in the blanks. I don't have to make up this crazy story and wonder.
Absolutely.
Which
I 100%
puts me at
agree.
peace and makes me a lot,
Yep. My loyalty though is like stupid. Like I when I talk about my dead husband, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, he's just a ghost. I'm married to a ghost. And like, so I don't know. I find one thing and then I'm like, all right, we got this. So hopefully I can like open up, and I feel like I could handle 4. That's like would be my cutoff.
For what?
Sugar daddies. Like I was honestly thinking, because I feel like a lot of people have a bunch, and like, no, I'm talking about to have the energy, equal energy, and that love for me, and that like
it's hard.
Oh, it's never going to be equal.
No.
You're always going to like somebody more. Somebody else is just
or
kind
like,
of
or
so then
you're
you
gonna
have
like
to
them
pick
different.
differently.
Differently.
And then one person may bring out a certain passion about you that this person doesn't, but you adore this person because of
something
a different
else.
reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've
so
talked about that
hard.
since the very first
But guys,
episode.
I have 3 kids who I have to like love all right in different ways. So I don't know. I feel like when you're a mom of multiple children, like you understand what it takes to make sure that everybody feels love. So maybe I'm just different because of that, to where I would make sure that I found. So yes, I'm sure I wouldn't be attracted to all of them the same or like love them all the same. But whatever thing is good about that relationship, I would focus on, and it would feel like magic. So I think that's my.
Kimmy, what are your thoughts on?
Well, what I was going to say is I met this guy and I really like him. He's a billionaire. I think I told you about him.
Jeez Louise, where do you meet billionaires?
Kimmy has met multiple
I just
billionaires.
never leave my house, so
To be
I'm
fair, these guys, it's not like, you meet a billionaire and like, your allowance is like 3 times as much
It's
or
still the
10
same,
times as
yeah.
much. It's like they know what the market is and they want the same price. It's like they walk, they get charged the same for a McDonald's
As you do.
as I do. So it's like, that's just how it goes. Right.
Interesting way to put it.
But that's really how it is. But then I'm trying to like get into this like dating sort deal. Like this one guy, I really like him and I want to see him. And so and the first 2 times he paid me, I didn't ask him to give me money or anything. And he just kind of Venmo'd me basically. And then I was like, hey, I don't want to feel transactional. Like, I just want to see you. And so then that's what we did. And then now he's like, next time I see you, I want to come up with an allowance or something so that you feel well taken care of, which is what I want. I don't want a whole like, I'll pay you every time I see you sort of deal. Like, it just doesn't feel right to me. And I also feel like when you really like somebody, it doesn't.
No, I
doesn't feel
agree.
right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I am also seeing some other people here and there. But then the thought of him possibly
I was just going to ask you that.
seeing somebody else to me is like, oh God, no, I totally get it. And it's hard. But then you can't have a double standard because that's just not fair.
No.
And you're not going to get far.
You'll just push them away. Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm having to like struggle with is
Don't think about it.
and I know for a fact, I don't think about it. I don't make decisions that are like, you know, weird or controlling.
Yeah.
Or I just really try to give him his space and, you know, let him.
But the energy from that feeling, you'll like radiate it.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to control it. Or even if you don't say anything, he'll pick up on it. Like, what is going on? Like your mannerisms will be different.
Now, you met him during the Super Bowl, didn't you?
Yeah. So basically, it was kind of crazy how I met him. I met him at 2 a.m. on the site the night before the Super Bowl.
Oh my
And-
See, I told you girls, get ready for
Okay.
this Super Bowl week.
I didn't even know it was here. Like my mom told me like the day of the Super Bowl. I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, in the golf tournament. I'm like, what? I didn't know the Super Bowl was here, and I missed the PGA Tour. Like, what?
Yeah.
I missed it all. It's hilarious.
That's, well, I don't know how you missed that. You must live in the boonies.
I do. I live in like the East 40 over there, and like I just don't leave. Like I just hang out at home,
Well, I mean, I would probably do the same. I'm not gonna lie.
right? But I was just actually, it's funny you said that. I was just going to go on there because I just wanted to look and see because through Super Bowl, I just want to see
Yeah.
if anyone hit me up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got a lot of hit ups. I'm constantly getting people hitting me up, and I don't look like Marilyn Monroe, so
Now,
Oh, shut it,
now,
you're
did he find you on Seeking, or you met him somewhere else?
he met me on Seeking. He asked me to come over for just a party. I asked him what his ideal arrangement was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know how much money he had. I just saw that he had kite surfing photos, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so he hit me up, and then he was like, just come over for a party, and I'm going to pay you this much. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck it. He lived 8 minutes away. I was down to go to the party.
Oh my gosh, so close. That's awesome.
I know. So then I go over there, meet him. I'm like, he seems pretty innocent. He seems like a nice guy. We're just talking and stuff. I'm meeting his friends. His friends are like, I'm like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I own these 3 Fortune 500 companies
Oh
in
my
Silicon Valley. Like
God.
his friends, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit. I'm sitting among a lot of wealthy people. I
Yeah.
had no idea who these people are. And then I asked him what he does, and he told me he owns, I'm not going to say anything
yeah.
because
He's in the currency market.
Yeah.
he's in the currency market, and he owns a currency.
Yeah.
And so after our date or that party, I went home and I looked him up, and I like swallowed my spit, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Dude, I should have went
whoa.
to the bathroom and did this when I was there. Like,
No, honestly, I'm glad I didn't because
you
I
wouldn't have known how to act. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I played it cool the whole time. You know, I was
Yeah.
like giving him, you know, my normal Kimmy treatment, and so which is how I should be, like
Yeah.
the way I am. And he loved it because I wasn't all like, oh my god,
Right.
right? And so then I went to Hawaii the next day. I already had a trip planned, and he was so happy. He was like excited to see me again, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to Hawaii. Like I'm gonna be gone for about like 5-6 days. So while I was gone, he jetted back to LA and came back the day I got back,
Oh my God.
and then to see me again.
That's
And then
amazing.
I know, and so we've been seeing each other. But yeah, so it's been kind of going pretty good. But I don't know. He's not.
Kimmy, I tell you what, she meets
I
these guys
love
that she meets
that.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've met some really interesting people. I mean, obviously, recently I met somebody, didn't have a great experience with him, but yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
about that.
you have good and bad.
Yeah, but I was talking to.
I've never had bad. Like, I
Well, not
literally
yet.
have had amazing, like.
You're
I-
still new.
It's
Yes.
true, right? You're
See-
like, bitch, you've had one, all right?
I was talking to my assistant, Vivian, and I was like, you know, the thing with the site is just like any site, just like the real world, there's a lot of great people, but then there's going to be bad eggs. And I've experienced some bad eggs. I mean, my ex,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
I got to
like
get a
the money.
restraining order. And then like this guy just recently, like, I'm like, all these weird things. And I'm just sitting there like, is it a site? But I'm like, no, not at all. Because the amount of people that I've talked to off the site and then gone on a date on, and then, you know, given a chance to, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, there was 2 bad eggs through all these experiences. And that's like any other site. I mean, people meet serial killers on Tinder.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna have 1 or 2 weird bad people
Absolutely.
off seeking. And that's just how it goes. You know, the longer you're on something and the more people you meet, you know, you get a chance to meet some.
Now, Kimmy, with these high profile men that you're meeting, do you talk allowance up front?
No.
I was about to say no.
Charlie, do you talk allowance
No.
up front? How'd that subject come up with your current sugar daddy?
He brought it up.
He brought it
yeah,
up.
like it was. Yeah, I feel like it was just a really like gradual conversation, and then he brought up allowance, and then I didn't say anything about money, and we met for lunch, and so no, I didn't bring it up. I feel like if someone is serious and if they're on the site and they understand how it goes, I don't know. I don't feel like I should have to.
If they're not new, if they're a seasoned sugar daddy,
That's all I
then they'll
want.
know.
I only want seasoned sugar daddy.
I recently gave a chance to somebody who was not a seasoned sugar
Oh, hell
daddy,
no.
and I had to walk him through the whole
Yeah,
talk.
no.
Which was actually fine. It didn't go bad. He understood. He was on the site, and he, you know, his friends kind of told him the rundown. But I was like the first person he ever like talked to off there, right? And so it went fine. But yeah, typically I go for, you know, most of the guys on there already know what they're doing.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't even know all of the rules, so I can't be teaching the rules. Like,
You know, I
I'm-
heard there's a great podcast
I
that you
know,
can
right?
listen to.
I'm gonna have to tune in. I wonder how I'm gonna find it. I'll have to Google it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, I wish today's episode was filmed because you guys
Me
missed out
too.
on a great pair of tits. I'm not gonna lie.
For real, and the hand motions and all of the
Right.
Yeah,
dick
we've had-
talk.
Yeah, you missed the dick.
I know.
Now, what are we gonna do with this?
For real.
Actually, I'm taking Charlie with me to Vegas.
We're going to Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're filling in the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have so much fun.
I'm
So
excited.
Kimmy was supposed to be on the show, but
Yeah.
she had some things come up.
A billionaire. No,
So possibly.
Well, I mean,
I mean, maybe.
more so legal situation.
Oh shit, that's never
Yeah.
fun.
Never.
But Charlie's gonna fill in, so we're all driving up to Vegas. You're gonna meet Alejandra,
Yeah.
which is we've been dating for 8 months. You know, it's funny. You just really don't know that much about somebody. You think you do, and you get to know them over a period of time. But here, 8 months later, even though we talk almost every day,
You're
and
still pulling
we go
layers
3 or
back,
4,
yeah.
we're still pulling layers back. We're still learning about each other. We're still opening up, and it's actually it's been a really fun experience in just the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Of finally getting down to the core and the trust.
That's what it is. It's like the respect and trust, and you do have
Right.
to go through all of those layers,
Right.
or you haven't put in the time and you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is, and I think that's what people have to understand. Like, to build a relationship, like, little things shouldn't like mess up the sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship. Like, you need to go into it with a mindset like this is like any other relationship. It will take time. It'll take communication, and I don't know, I guess be open-minded and patient.
One of the big reasons I bring that up is because I see too many sugar daddies trying to jump into relationships with their sugar babies. Because you got to remember, they're experiencing the good side, and they think, oh, this girl is amazing because she's not bringing the drama. She's giving him his needs. She's acting her best. She's providing him a great time. Well, it's natural for them to fall in love because they're not really seeing the entire picture. So I actually did an extra sugar about that, of when sugar daddies fall in love, and it happens for sugar babies too. And then I also just released it'd be a few weeks ago by the time this comes out, but 6 proven tips on how to talk allowance with your sugar daddy. So I encourage all you sugar babies and sugar daddies to go listen to the extra sugar, because I think it's great advice, because that's always like a touchy subject. How do you talk allowance?
It is.
And how do you even come up with a number?
Absolutely. So with me, it was easy for me because, like I said, I have, a sugar daddy that is amazing at what he does. And he just laid it all out so everything made sense. And he was so upfront with me. And he, but then also was like, if you need anything, you can call me. But I think what happens is that girls abuse that, and then men get hurt, and then they're kind of touchy and they carry that into the next one. And that's the only issue that I would say, is that past relationships, clouding what you have now. Like, every single girl is different. You cannot go into the mindset of thinking that it just drives me crazy sometimes that they think we're all the same. But then I guess girls do that to men. Like, oh, they're all the same.
Yeah.
No, they're fucking not. Like, you know?
They're very different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charli,
Yes.
I appreciate you coming and joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Kimmy,
Was
we have lots to talk about.
yeah.
You know, I need to do a show with just Kimmy.
You know, Marcus, I last night sober. I in front of Vivian and her friends from Michigan. I gave a speech about how great you were, and I just started crying. I was like, "You don't understand. He's
amazing." I'm like, oh.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
She had
Aw.
those drunk tears. She was really feeling it.
No, I was sober.
Oh, you were sober.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Well,
I
I'm
appreciate
usually
that.
sober. I just am like cracked out on life.
Right? That's
Yeah.
me. I'm ADHD as fuck.
I'm like a
people are
Mormon, you know. It's like the caffeine does it for me.
oh, yeah? The caffeine does it for me.
Well, you never know who's going to come into your life
Yeah.
through online dating. And, you know, people come, they go, and they're here for reasons, and some stay and some don't. And you just learn from everybody. And Kimmy came into my life last May or so, and damn it, she's still here.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
you?
God,
I love
went
that.
through a really hard period when I first moved here, and
Yeah.
Marcus has been like an angel.
Yeah,
Really.
You just like that, you know, that like steady, like you know he's there, you know he's gonna be
Oh,
strong, and you know
100%.
what I mean.
He's just overall a great person.
Yeah.
Very giving and like not expecting, just, you know, that's really what, to me, like a really great person is about. It's never like a tit
What
for
they can
tat.
get from you is like what they'll give. Like you see you. Yeah, I agree. That's me. I'm a giver.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. But we have to end this.
Okay.
All right, Charli, again, thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow on
Yes,
our trip
we
to
will.
Vegas. Kimmy.
Thanks.
Adios.
All right, until next
Bye.
time. And if you want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, questions, or comments, please go to our website at secretsofasugardaddy.com. Follow us on Instagram at the same name. All right, and catch our extra sugars. I'm back to making those. I've got a lot of good subjects we're going to explore. Until next episode, bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.